Today's episode of the Protect You podcast is sponsored by Game One. Looking to elevate your game? At Game One, we come alongside your team to provide custom uniforms, apparel, and equipment built for performance and delivered with unmatched service. Plus, our online team and fan stores make it easy for athletes and parents to get custom gear anytime, anywhere. Visit game-one.com today because your team deserves the best. Welcome on in, everybody, to another episode of the Protect You podcast. I'm Jake Wilson, as always, alongside the man, Jay Mickens. And Jay, boy, do we have a packed one today. Multiple guests coming on, new time additions to the crew, and then we obviously got some breaking news to try and break down everything that happened over this past week.
No, we got some huge announcements. I think that's probably more of the breaking news when, let's say, the viewers see who has joined the crew. Definitely excited about that. But yeah, still recovering from a fun weekend. I'm still hurting a little bit, Jay.
And why would that be, Jay? Why would you need to recover after we had Memorial Day as a full day off to recover?
Oh, dog.
Why was it maybe another needed breathe to recover from this last weekend?
Well, hey, man, I'm not 21 anymore, so there's that. And Ash and I, we don't do a lot of partying, as you know. We're more here, might have a glass of wine or two, and then we just go be about our life, right? But we had some celebrating to do. Jalen got married, right, to Hannah, right? We've all known Hannah as the girlfriend and the girlfriend to the fiance, and now she's officially Mrs. Mickens. And so excited to welcome her, being my future daughter-in-law, right? As you kind of see the picture reel starting with there, Jalen and I get started on Friday. Then this is the night before. There's Hannah. There's my beautiful daughter-in-law. And of course, there's the guy himself right there. Big smile. Super excited for this event. And then like here, you got Jack Emerson, right? Also, you got Tata Byers, right? Two Protect You members to be also a part of the wedding party, which was great. Having them. And then of course, right, this was just another picture of them leaving church. One Sunday. And then there's Jalen. So freeze on this, Computer Jesus. So this here, man, and social media, Jay will be getting this out here in a little bit, but Jalen got an NIL deal with this car service company, right?
Go.
And so they provided the car service that we needed here, as well as wanting to get a little picture op and a little video. So, I mean, we got to do what we got to do, right, with these NIL deals, even on wedding day. But Jalen and I got to ride, and this was like our last moment, right, just kind of father-son, getting to talk before the wedding, going through, last thoughts, last emotions, right? He said it was going to be tough, and he told me that this part, it was not going to be the nerve-wracking part. It was going to be the reception because of the dancing and all that. But he was going to be strong here. Well, let's just say that tears came down his face. Like the moment he saw his bride come, there's him and I walking in together. You see, I cleaned up pretty well.
Dressed to the nines,
right?
I like that.
Yeah. Great picture there. Taken by me, right? Social media, Jay, right? He's going to be proud of me. This is all my shots, by the way, guys. Portrait mode, Jake, I had it in the perfect spot.
Great composition.
Like, look at that. I mean, do you see that, man? Just kind of roll. Right there, the pastor, right? He's a North Shore guy. Him and I had good conversations as well. Then, of course, there's the bride and groom, Mr. and Mrs. Mickens, right? Another shot taken by me, I might add. And that just shows just the combination of everything, right? That went and didn't show any of the reception. I was too busy dancing, had my glow sticks.
So you were too busy cutting a rug.
I was too busy with that. But it was fun. It was a Sunday wedding, right? And so yesterday was a day after we worked half a day here, Chase, as we welcome you on the set. I just went and put my head underneath the pool water and sat there, watched a little baseball, and thought about.
Is this a good way to slow down, decompress a little bit?
Here's the deal. Like I'm a big Shirley Temple guy, right? Hannah loves Shirley Temples. I love Shirley Temples. I didn't know I was in line for the Dirty Shirleys. Because the Dirty Shirleys are a little bit different. They got, I think, alcohol inside of those. So
really,
they do, Jake. They do, but you don't taste the alcohol. You don't taste.
That's a dangerous part.
Yeah, and so but no, fun night. So happy for Jalen and Hannah. Y'all can go on my socials, and you can see the other pictures. I got videos. I will say that I think the most coolest moment was they got went through the marriage counseling, right? Went through the marriage counseling with Pastor Kai, right? Big shout out to Wake Church off in Conroe, Texas. But then after that, he baptized both of them. So I got the videos of him baptizing Jalen, baptizing Hannah, and then he also performed the ceremony, right? So I thought that was pretty cool, right? You know, to kind of actually build a real relationship with your pastor beforehand when they were just dating, get engaged. He does the marriage counseling, does the baptism, and then does the ceremony. So I want him to come to the reception, but I don't think he was allowed to do that. But yeah, no, great fun. And then now they're in San Diego, right? That was the gift, another gift Asher and I wanted to get them, send them on a honeymoon. And Hannah wants to be a veterinarian. And so she wanted to go out there to see big sea lions and all the big animals. I think Jalen just wanted that resort life so he can go put his feet up and enjoy, because we know what's coming for him in about what, Chase? 7 days? Yeah. So
now.
Yeah, so I don't think Jalen's go too apt to want to walk around too much. I think he's going to want to be pampered because he knows what's to come. But anyway, congratulations again to Jalen and Hannah. Hannah, welcome to the family. Love you, girls. Son, you know I love you. And I sent this to them, so they might be watching.
They should be watching.
They should be watching. They should, but I don't know what they are.
Hey,
they might be doing other stuff. I don't know. Eating breakfast.
Probably
in the gym.
Working out. There you go. There you go. Maybe doing some sightseeing. I know that area around San Diego is beautiful.
At 10 a.m., getting after it early.
Come on, man. California is beautiful pretty much any hour of the day.
I believe that, but on your honeymoon?
But on your honeymoon? I don't know, man.
Okay.
I've never been married, so I wouldn't know.
All right.
Let's keep it moving.
Hey, Jake, but you got a big event coming up.
That is true. I do.
I still remember you coming with this email. You're like, hey, can I request time off? And I'm like, yeah, what is it for? And then you hit me with,
I will be going to Italy. Our flight is tomorrow, but it's going to be undoubtedly the farthest I've ever been from home. First time I'm ever leaving the good US of A, but it was just an opportunity. My grandmother, she very well traveled, and she has been setting this money aside since retirement to take all the grandkids out for just one great excursion of, she said, anywhere in Europe, anywhere y'all want to go.
She's paying for all that?
Mm-hmm.
How many grandkids?
It is me, my younger sister, and then my younger cousin.
So just 3 of y'all?
But there's going to be 4 of us because my grandmother's going. So it's going to be all 4 of us going together.
Oh, and that's what's up.
She said, anywhere in Europe y'all want to go.
And so, like, was there like a battle for where y'all picked?
A little bit.
Yeah, like so tell us, give us a little behind the scenes, because I know you, Jay, you love to argue. So I have a feeling that you went all in on either your cousin or.
So my sister and I had the initial back and forth. She was a little more easygoing of where she wanted to go. I laid out either Germany, Austria, or Italy were my choices.
Okay.
France would have been cool, but my grandmother, she was very much against going to France for whatever reason. She was like, I'm not doing France again.
Again.
Oh. I was like, okay.
They look at Granny throwing that out there. I like that. I like that.
But I, me being a huge history nerd, I was like, Italy would probably be cooler. So that way we could go see Rome, we could see the Vatican, we can see World War II stuff, all of that. It'd be really cool to see. And Austria with the great architecture. And then so my grandmother said last time she went to Italy, she loved it. It was a great experience all around. She knows the places to go. And so we ultimately landed on Italy. We will be going to Rome, I think, for the first 5 days. Then we're going to Florence for the next 4.
That's cool. So there's a train ride over?
I think we have a chauffeur that'll be taking us from Rome to Florence.
What did your grandmother do for a living?
She was a nurse. She was an OR nurse.
Hey, smart with her money.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very smart. Very smart.
An OR nurse to save enough money for you. And I know how bougie you are, Jake. I probably added to that.
I was going to say.
Yes, I might have
you don't help.
I might have heard. Wait, we're not flying in the front of the plane? No. But no, Jake, I'm super excited for you, brother. I think that's great. And what a cool opportunity.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. It'll be something I've been looking forward to for a while now. You get those nerves when you get ready to travel. Yeah. Obviously, you got to make sure, am I packing all the right stuff? Do I have all my toiletries with me? But,
have you packed?
I have packed some of my toiletries, but other than that, that's about it.
I'm the same way. I'm last minute.
You just last minute just throw it in. Jeez.
Morning of.
It's like, because I had to basically buy a whole nother wardrobe to get ready for this thing, because the way the museums and the churches are, you can't wear shorts. It's going to be late May, beginning of June when we're going out there with that Mediterranean heat. But I got to wear pants everywhere.
Oh, no.
I got to wear pants everywhere.
And you pick, why would you pick
polo everywhere?
Jeez. Okay. Your trip now does not sound as fun. I heard Italy and I got excited because I like Italian food.
What I like, though, and we will be doing an Italian cooking class where they teach us how to make pastas and gelatos and all that stuff.
There you go.
So,
all right,
a little bit of that as well.
Like it.
And they said free wine everywhere.
You don't even drink.
I'm all in. I'm all in. I'll be there. Granny, I'm on the way.
Hey, Chase was like, so I need to bring 5 pair of slacks or 8 pair of slacks?
But it's going to be something I'm very much looking forward to it.
Right.
I am a little anxious, but I appreciate that my grandmother was kind enough to essentially plan out everything of where we're going to be for every day.
All right. Well, I look forward to the pictures and videos here in a couple of weeks, bro.
I'll be sure to send some over. I'll be sure to get all of them together, and we'll show those off. And I
love it.
I'll do the gladiator walking through the field of wheat, brushing my hand along the side of it. You know what I'm talking about?
We're gonna.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Gladiator movie. Yeah, that was sad though. That's when he found his wife and his kid.
Maximus, but it's an iconic shot. We got to recreate.
All right, let's move on.
Let's move on. Chase, we bring you on here as always for a very specific reason. It's because you have that great insight and you have that great ability to break down the key attributes of the newest members of the Protect You crew. And I think we have two possibly the biggest that we've been able to bring on as the newest members, the newest additions to the Protect You crew. And we'll start off with a big one. 4-star defensive lineman, the man, David Dotson. He is a big-time prospect coming out of Atascocita High School in the 2028 class. Over 30 offers. And Chase, as you break down this film, it's very easy to see why.
Yeah, these next two guys are probably going to be the easiest guys I've ever broken down. Just David Dotson sitting at 6'4", or 6'6", 240, just elite first step. You'll see it over and over again. Absolute. His athleticism being only a 2028, right here, the O-lineman is just hanging on for dear life, still gets a flag and the sack.
And by the way, that's Kennedy Brown. He's going against one of the top offensive linemen in the nation that's committed to currently the Texas A&M.
I think he gets him again a few clips later as well. So it should have been another flag call, but maybe the 5-star privilege didn't get called. But no, this clip's going to go for a little bit, computer. Jesus. But no, as you see, you'll just see 6'6". You can't teach it. Here it is again. That's that same clip, right? Same guy.
Oh, yeah,
there it is. Could have been a flag there, but just his first step is unteachable. And then with Coach being there and Coach Howard being there, I love that we're able to he's a little raw, but able to tighten up some things and really get them right over the next 2 years.
And I like too that it's very much defensive minded coaching that's going to be coming from the very top. Coach was a DC guy. He was a defensive guy when he was at UT. He was at DeSoto, won a state championship with them. So how do you feel like that's going to help David further his development even more than he already is right now?
Yeah, he has all the intangibles, the things you can't teach. The athleticism. Obviously his measurables, but to your point, Jake, having that defensive mindset to, complete, the whole, David's holistic, athletic ability is just going to make him that much better.
Yeah.
No, this is great. And I mean, by the way, with it being almost summertime, right? I know these kids are starting to, be a little bit more lackadaisical in class. So I bet some of these guys are watching this, right? So this is a segment we always do, guys, here. But I mean, being in that room, right? The Atascocita, right? Getting to speak with them, talk to them. Chase, you were working the room, right? I cannot wait, right, until we show some of these clips and pictures later on in the episode. But I mean, bro, like when you saw this monster of a man like roll up on you, besides the fact that the gym lights seemed like it went out, like an eclipse was forming over your head. Like, I mean, and we know that you do your job. I'll never forget, we went out there for a practice and you looked and you were like, that's the guy. Like, that's the guy. But getting to see him, talk to him, what kind of impression did David leave on you?
Just the maturity at that age, and with all the, he's blown up within the past 3 months. So being able to handle, all the accolades coming his way at such a quick time. And then, I mean, he's like a Space Jam character. So that's the first thing that kind of, stands out. But the maturity, that David, comes off with at such a young age with all the things that's coming at him right now, every offer in the nation, it really is what stuck to me was, how mature he was.
I like that. And of course, like you mentioned, Coach Howard, right? Great defensive coordinator, at Atascocita High School here in Houston, Texas. And it's one of the, premier high schools, right? And I love how you brought that in because you've seen how Coach Howard has coached up, D-line, right? Like RJ Williams is kind of an example of a guy that they coached at College Park, right? Which is one of the top 28 guys. Maybe not as high as David, right? But, you mentioned taking that raw talent and then Coach Howard, like what's the expectation coming into this season, you think, with those two working together in the lab, watching film and then working on his craft?
I mean, I don't want to speak for them, but I would assume championship. I mean, they got all the pieces. We've saw it, live 3D from D-line, O-line to receivers to the DBs to another position. Talk about quite yet, but they got all the pieces. So I think, just like bringing in, that extra, that coaching ability, the expertise from that defensive side is just gonna, push them over that edge that they've been trying to get to.
Love it.
Yeah, I think a great breakdown on that, and we're very excited once again to welcome David Dotson in to the Protect You crew, looking to build off of those meaningful relationships and continue to rack up some more offers for you, David. We'll be sure to get you front and center for those types of conversations.
Yeah. Cannot wait to go on those OVs with that guy. Oh, there it is. Look at that monster of a man.
Golly. I've been saying, Jay, you're not short either.
Well, thank you, Jay. Thank you.
You're 6'2", Jay?
Yeah. I mean, hey, but I like that, especially with payday coming down the road. Touche, fellas. Thank you. I'm not short at all, Jake. You're right. I'm a strong 5'10". But seriously,
that is a mountain of a man.
Dog. I mean, thank God we brought the bigger Protection United deal banner. Well, what if we brought the other one? He would have standing on top of it.
Yeah, we would have had to cut it off. He would have cut his head off.
You would have had like his chin. Me and me. But guys, how excited are we to have?
Oh, fired up.
Very excited. Yeah. Very, very
excited. It was a busy week. It was a good week.
It was a great week.
It was.
And we keep the good times rolling.
We keep it rolling as we have another member coming into the Protect You crew and another collegiate member. And it's one that those of y'all that have been watching college sports may recognize the name Michael Turner Jr., running back for the Baylor University Bears. And Chase, as we get to show these highlights of his first collegiate carries, I think it really shows the uphanded potential that Mike has moving forward in his career.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, he's already produced. True freshman, he's going into his true sophomore year.
Oof.
He's going to be that all around back. He has the speed. Former 4-star as well. Two in 1 week. Just putting that out there. But
I like that, baby. Hey, brag on us, Chase. Brag on us.
No, I'm joking. But he really is. Has all the intangibles. You can see why he's a 4-star. He's going to make that first guy miss. Going to run through that first guy, and that's just, like I said, a true freshman. So imagine another year in the weight program, another year in the nutrition program. Really excited about Michael Turner. Just he's got it all. You'll see it. He's going to drag guys on and on again through these clips. The first guy's not going to bring him down. And just like I said, you being able to get that reps early on is invaluable.
Yeah, and Chase, I mean, for a true freshman, right, to have 65 carries, 320 yards, and a touchdown, right, that we're going to see the TD here in a little bit. But talk to us, I mean, how rare is that for a true freshman to step on the stage on a P4 level and do what he did?
It says a lot to him and the trust that his coaches have in him and the fact that they're putting, essentially their jobs on the line for a true freshman. And he goes out there and, and he did his thing, produced, and 65 carries is nothing to, be sad about it as a freshman. So.
Right. No, exactly, brother. I mean, and I mean, like you mentioned, I mean, he's just dragging guys. And look at that. I mean, even in that scenario, right, it's 45-27. I get it. 4 minutes to go in the game. We've seen a lot of crazy things happen. Yeah. Like you mentioned, they're trusting him with the football. I mean, even right here, 7-3, first quarter, they're losing, yet he's getting the rock.
Yep.
Yeah, here's a very dependable option.
There's that TD.
There's that contact balance I was talking about. Just that first guy's not going to bring him down. And then, like I said, the future is extremely bright. Just as young he is, already producing. Just very, very fired up for adding another stud athlete from the Baylor Bears.
Yeah, no, that was great.
Yeah,
I mean, super pumped to have Mike. It's to have somebody reach out to you that's at that level just speaks high volumes of what we've done and what we're building here at Protection United. Also, doesn't hurt that QB1 right next to him is throwing our name out there as well and kind of letting them know. But no, I mean, dude, what do you think sophomore year? Like, what's the expectation you're thinking? Because now we got about. Because DJ's like my nephew. So there's a lot of we's. I rep like 30 schools collegiately. But but I mean, having DJ there, right? The passing game changed. We were there for a spring game, so we got to see a little bit, of what's going on up there. What's the expectations for Mike this upcoming season?
I would all conference honors, by the end of it, to your point, DJ is there. So that's going to open up that run game, being able to sling it on the outside and keep him honest on the edge. It's just going to make Mike's job a lot easier. So I think it's just up from here, and they're going to be a nice complementary duo.
Hey, I like it. Future is bright for both of these athletes. And quick shout out as well to Mike, who celebrated his birthday yesterday.
Hey, I know. I reach out to my dog and I'm just like, hey, brother, like, want to make sure everything's good. And, we got all administrative stuff done. He said, I'm going to get to it. Today's my birthday. I'm like, bro, why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you let us know? We would have got a graphic up. Social media, Jay would have been all over that. But either way, happy birthday to you, bro. We're going to make sure we come show you some love, man. But yeah, cannot wait to watch him.
Yeah, fired up.
Hey, September 19th just got bigger. La Tech at Baylor.
We're going to be rolling deep in that match.
Deep. We're going to be just cheering. It's going to be like taking the over on the game. You're just rooting
for everything.
Go Jalen, go Mike, go DJ, go DeBron, back to Jalen. Like imagine if all of our guys scored all the touchdowns.
Speaking into existence.
That'd be the perfect game day experience.
If that happens, Jake Wilson, okay, you're going to have to at least drink a mimosa, just with like a little baby.
For sure.
A little baby champagne in it.
For sure.
More orange juice than champagne. Okay? But you got to do that if that happens, because that's rare.
Yes.
When we got a guy in the green room that don't like guys to score, and he wanted to stop him from scoring. But I think it could be fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's going to be a fun day.
Yes, it's going to be very fun.
I'm ready to book Jalen's car service for us.
Get down there.
Get Andy to drive. Oh, that was the driver, by the way, yesterday.
Really?
He picked me Andy. Dude, I walked outside. He goes, good to see you again, sir. And I was like, hey, this is my son's wedding day. Like, I booked it in plenty enough time, dog. I was like, he ain't got to be there to 4. We got time.
I'll get you there in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, Andy, thank you. He basically told me, just shut up and drink your water. Yes, sir.
Let me take care of it.
Yeah. Anyway, but no, great time. But man, getting Mike, obviously getting David.
Yep.
What a day.
Yes. Very excited.
What a day to be a part of Protection United is all I got to say.
Yes, we're very excited for those newest members of the Protect You crew. And once again, quick shout outs to Mike for celebrating his birthday, as well as video assets from ESPN and Baylor Athletics. Let's talk just a little bit more here and talk about some more reasons to celebrate, because Jay, we have now hit 18 straight episodes of new offers coming in for members of the Protect You crew. And we got some big time milestones to keep hitting here. Let's move over to SEC country to talk about one of the hottest recruits in the nation right now. And that's our guy, Azarian Fields, who picked up an offer from none other than LSU. The Tigers shooting Azarian an offer, making it 14 for the young man.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Azarian might not be happy, hearing Chase say that Atascocita could win state, because I think Azarian's going to have something to say, because he is the top edge rusher in the 2029 class, right? To go with David being the top 2028. But man, so happy for Azarian. Just excited for him. This is what we knew was to come. I just think that it's so interesting how, he's getting all these offers and he still hadn't played underneath those Friday night lights. But hey, when Chase,
Yeah, no, 100%. It goes back to just the intangibles. You can't teach, 6'6", 6'7" for Azarian. And these college coaches love that. So
yeah, I think Lane Kiffin and now, oh my God, why am I blanking on his name?
Coach O.
Coach O is back.
Yeah.
Coach
Orgeron.
Yeah.
Hey, is he going to be the DC?
I have no idea.
Or is he going to just walk around and say, go
Tigers?
Go Tigers. I knew we were going to do it. Really? You had Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. I mean, and Randy Moss's son at tight end. Oh, and then the running back was what?
It was Clyde Edwards.
Yeah. Stop it.
Come on.
I think Chase and I could have coached that team.
Maybe they can retool, and maybe Azarian can be the centerpiece of that defense as they try and recapture some of that magic,
Bro.
down in Baton Rouge.
Yeah. All I know is with this kid, man, I mean, the sky's the limit.
Yes.
Cannot wait to watch him ball out this year.
Absolutely. We're very excited. Congratulations to you, Azarian. And then let's move over and talk about our guy, Jay Storm Knight, as he picked up an offer from Georgia Tech. Just continues to rack up big-time offers, approaching now over 30 offers for our guy, Jay Storm Knight. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, Storm. Happy for you, big dog. I mean, and this is what we expected. This is what we expected for him. And, in no crazy ways, it's still the beginning, guys. Dude's got like 40 offers. We're talking about it's still the beginning.
Still more to come. Still more to come. And let's keep it going with guys that continue to rack up big-time offers. And that's our guy, Dylan Mitchell, as he picked up California Cal and the Golden Bears shooting an offer Dylan's direction. Big-time congrats on that one. Now, Ryder Flugents also picks up an offer, this time from the Baylor Bears. Man, we got a lot of Baylor connections happening today.
Yeah, no, big time offer for Ryder. I mean, you're looking at someone that, once again, just like a Zarian, right? He hadn't even played underneath the Friday Night Lights yet, right? And but these schools are recognizing the talent they know. Baylor, just I knew they would love him because, I mean, when you look at a DJ Lagway and he look at a Ryder Flugents and you're like, hey, it's kind of the same dude. So, I mean, look, talked to Dad this morning. He was an old speed trainer, so he's been working with Ryder. Said he clocked him at a 4.5. I'm like, stop the cap. You're doing 6'5", 210, Chase.
Yeah, that's scary. We might have Cam Newton on our hands.
Hey, bro. Anyway, super happy for Ryder, and another one that's well-deserved.
Absolutely. Now let's return over to North Shore once again so we can talk about our guy, Brandon Hebert, who picked up an offer from UNLV. Congratulations, Brandon. Continuing to rack up some more big-time offers as one of the best O-linemen in the state of Texas. Now we got a run of Minot State offers, starting off here with our guy, Amaji Friend, who picked up an offer very recently from Minot State. Congratulations to our guy, Jai Amaji Friend. Let's move over once again here. Another Minot State offer, this time for Dawson Campbell.
Duke.
Our guy, Duke Campbell. Congratulations on that, making it 2 offers now officially for our guy, Dawson Campbell. And then last, but certainly not least, is Cash Farrell, who also picked up an offer from Minot State. And we put big-time emphasis on this one because this marks the first collegiate offer for our guy, Cash Farrell.
Yeah,
congratulations, man. Cash.
Hey, happy for Cash. I know Addie, our client relations manager, which is also Cash's sister. Like, when she sent that text to Cash, letting them know, hey, you're going to be talking about your offer. I know Addie has been waiting. She's probably sent 18 straight weeks. I'm just going to make up a number and say 500 text messages.
Yeah.
Right. And then she finally got to send that one to her brother. Man, it's got to be a cool moment. Happy for Cash. I know Gina's mom is watching right now. I bet she's sitting there smiling. Tears are probably coming down her face because he's just a hard worker, right? Cash Farrell's just a young man that we all know here locally that he's been a dude since he was like 10, 11 years old, right? But yet, just a grinder, right? And he'll be another one, Jake, that'll be playing with that chip on the shoulder of like, okay, I'm going to remember all the guys that passed me up because I might not have met the eye test or I didn't fit your narrative, but I'm still a football player at the end of the day. So happy for Cash. This is the first of many to come, right? And we're expecting after this camp season for the snowball effect to hit since he will be in that rising senior class.
Yes, definitely one of the best hard-nosed running backs that I've seen. He's got a little bit of that Camp Scattaboo type energy to him of just put your head down and run through a mother trucker's face. And he definitely gets after it, man. So congratulations to you, Cash, as we round out yet another sensational run of more offers coming in for the Protect You crew. And Chase, we leave you on here just for a little bit longer, not only to break down the great things that the athletes of the Protect You crew have been doing, but you also were able to get out there and we experienced firsthand a meaningful event at Atascocita High School here in the North Houston area, where great connections with the coaching staff led to opportunities for us to go out and have a meaningful conversation and a meaningful opportunity to present in front of not just the coaches, not just the athletes, but the parents that help continue to move everything along for that excellent Eagles program.
Yeah,
and
well,
there
we
you
say-
see
yeah.
the full team getting out there for that event, man.
Well, I was going to say, if you go back, Computer G's, I wanted to kind of stay there because I wanted to at least give a shout out to our team if possible, just because there's so much work happens behind the scenes. We talk about it. You always see me and Jake's face, right? But, you got Addie Farrell, right, on my left, Madison Lamb on the right, with client relations and executive assistant, right? Logan Mahoney, right? Logan might be one of the hardest dudes working behind the scenes. I mean, not only is he doing all of our scouting reports, but you got Logan that's also, watching film with our guys, right? And taking time along with keeping his studies up. And then, of course, right, we all know the other three gents behind my face. So now, Computer G's, you can kind of get it rolling as we go through some of this, right, of the B-roll and what we were able to do, right? So there's myself, Coach Coates, getting to talk, thanking him once again for letting us, come be a part of this. It's such a great moment, Jake.
Absolutely, because not only, like we said, were we able to go out there and talk with all of these parents, but we also had some very memorable faces out there. Matt Stepp and obviously Greg Powers were out there. And so it was great to continue to talk to them, deepen a lot of those connections, and show off that Protect You is for real. We're serious.
Hey.
We're building those connections. And I think this next shot here will really emphasize the scale of what we were looking at.
I agree. I mean, and I love that they showed my shoe game too, to show how serious I am with my shoes. Got to look good down there on the feet, baby. But yeah, no, you're right. I mean, like a huge turnout, right? I mean, that high school so excited for Kyle Coates to be there, and the turnout was amazing. I didn't know why they wanted to pick the gym until I realized, I see why you needed that. Social media, Jay, this was your first, kind of event of like a, somewhat of a Protection United Expo. Tell us, what was your thoughts and reactions from it?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, if you are familiar with Texas high school football at all, Atascocita, the A. Like, this is one of the best high schools in the area and really in the nation by that. And just getting out there, getting to see the parents' investment, right? Out there, listening to Coach Coates talk, again, having the Dave Campbell's guys out there, just everything about this felt big time.
Yeah.
So it was just a real joy to be out there, and then to be able to talk about what we do to the parents afterwards as well, having that chance to really go into detail about how we help kids on their journey.
Yeah, and there was a lot of Aggie fans in the stand. Like when I said, hey, Jay Arnold is our social media manager, former Tex ad played, and I couldn't even get the words out.
Yep.
So we heard the whoop, whoop.
As soon as the Texas A&M came out of your mouth, we got the Aggies getting loud, which
I know.
I love to hear personally.
Yeah, I know you.
I'm biased.
You are. No, it's just funny because, like Jay, like with University of Miami, when they do whoop, that means that somebody's about to get jumped in the locker room, right? But then, like, what is the other? Whoop?
Yeah. So I mean, it's part of the Aggie yells. You don't get to whoop until you've accumulated certain hours. There's a lot of traditions. I don't want to get too into it. I know Jake's going to get really frustrated with me if I dive into all the Aggie traditions.
Well, you got to do the
whoop.
There you go.
Boom. And that's how you do it.
It's interesting, Jake, to have all that. Even like doing our final prep for the pod yesterday, you sounded just like one of their yell leaders.
Yeah, I've been around a lot of Aggies.
Well, and Jake's a student of history, and the traditions, the
That's what it
history,
is.
steeped in it. Like, you just gotta love it.
Okay, yeah, but no, bro. But you were definitely a crowd favorite, but getting to see that though, like from this side of the table, right? Kind of understanding a little bit more of, getting to see the educational piece that we are providing. I mean, having all those people come up to the table like afterwards, talking to us about the different things that we offer, and they knew who to go to, right? Because I kind of put you guys on the side a little bit, right? But I wanted the people to know, like, don't just come all run to me. Like, we have a whole team here at Protection United, and I really appreciate Coach Coates, Atascocita football, obviously, Coach Howard, Coach Wooten, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Coach Wooten, thank you. Yeah, so. Appreciate all you guys having us out. And then, it was an honor, right, to get to be one of the keynote speakers, to go along with Matt Stepp as well as Greg Powers, right, at Dave Campbell.
Absolutely. And we have some great photos from this experience as well. And a huge shout out to our camera operators, our guy Alex out of Vipe, for coming in and capturing a lot of these excellent moments. That first one, though, Jay, that was you.
Yeah, that was me. One.
Yeah, so go back, Computer G's. He gets so quick. He's so quick on the trigger. I think
Rolling.
I think Computer Jesus like grandfather or great grandfather was like an old Western guy.
Yeah.
You know, when they had to pull it,
Gunslinger,
yeah,
like a John Wayne.
I know. It's like,
Clint Eastwood.
yeah, but like that picture there, like I thought, which was by you, Jay. I thought it was a great moment, right? Because you're getting to see us behind the scenes, but most importantly, you see that, I mean, it's packed up to the rafters,
Yeah.
baby. Right? I mean, if they're standing up for the Pledge of Allegiance, they're looking down at the flag.
Right.
Right? So anyway, all right, we can roll it now.
But I think too, Jay, this really not only shows off, like we said, the scale of how massive this was to see all of these parents, all the athletes get out there for it, but that this was truly a great opportunity for Protection United to put its best foot forward and to build that meaningful connection by planting a flag at Atascocita, showing that we have these types of great personal relationships with Coach Coates, and we want to build off of that. And as we always say, bless those that want to be blessed with opportunity.
Correct. No, and that's where you know, also too, right? You know, I know with last week we did a little segment, you know, talking about this, about, you know, high school coaches staying in their lane and Protection United, we stay in our lane. But Coach Coates gets it, right? He's one of the ones that I was speaking of in regards to, like, he's like, dude, I just want to win games on Friday night, you know, and he does Friday night lights. You know, I want to help my guys get recruited, but you're in this world every day. I don't know. All I can do is talk about my guys, give them the film, talk about things that I know about them. But having you guys be a part of us, right? And that's the difference. We're not trying to take over, right? You know, Coach Howard is the defensive coordinator out there and the recruiting coordinator. He appreciates the help. He's appreciating the fact that we're going to basically still be reporting up to him, right? This is his, you know, team, right? He's going to be the ultimate say of all things, but being able to kind of let him know and continue to guide and educate the entire staff of the new world of high school recruiting, definitely, as you can see, has been a huge benefit for them.
Yeah, and the other thing about it is just the level of trust, right? It's them trusting us to come out there and speak and be an addition to what they do on the field, coaching the kids up, right? And it's the parents trusting us to help them in the process. That's what we want to be about, is just being a resource for these kids and these families, being a resource for these coaches, right? Because they don't have as much time to spend on recruiting when they're trying to win games on Friday night, like you mentioned, Jay. And it's just, again, just such a great opportunity to get out there and speak with those folks.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved having the opportunity to go out there, talk with a lot of those parents, because everyone has to be invested in this. You have to be able to create this whole team unit, and it starts with the family, the great parents, the great grandparents, aunts and uncles that show a lot of support for these athletes, because they're the ones that have to put a lot of things in motion. They're the ones who have to fill out a lot of the paperwork. They're the ones that have to pay for all the stuff that these programs want to go on. And so to see that Coach Coates not only wants to go out there and say, look, I know that it's going to be jarring with me being first year head coach here, but I'm going to build this thing the way that we need it to be built. I'm going to get us connected with people like Dave Campbell's. I'm going to get us connected with people like Protection United. So that way it's a seamless process, and we're building a strong foundation that, like we said, will lead to championships in the very near future. Yeah. I have full faith in that.
I agree. No, but once again, man, it was just an honor to be out there, and, you know, excited to get back out there again, right? You know, and, you know, as we look there, see our guy David Dotson, right? He's already responding. He said he can't wait to watch the pod when he gets out of class.
Yep.
They're still in school out there.
Student athletes, right?
Student athlete. Yeah, Dave, wait until you get out of school. You stay focused. But no, definitely a great event. You know, super, you know, honored, you know, that Atascocita wanted to have us out there. And yeah, we look forward to getting to see some games, right? I mean, I think we got some key matchups of some games that I believe is going to be really fun to watch.
I mean, what a district that is, right?
Oh, bro.
Some of the matchups in that district are going to be, I mean, like I would go to this even if I wasn't working. Right? That's how good these games are.
Yeah. Well, I will say that, you know, knowing the right people helps us, because now we get to, you know, have access to be on the sideline and get to see it like up close and in person. But to your point, you're right. I mean, like, this could be looked at as, you know, a mini version of a Big 12 or the SEC or the Big 10. I mean, just because of just the individual names. But to your point, Jay, you know, there's guys that are 3 stars, right? That are strong 3 stars that are on these programs. And so excited to see what happens.
Can't wait.
Yes, very much. We're all very excited for what this opportunity is going to lead to. It's already led to some new members of the Protect You crew. That has us excited. It's going to lead to a lot of very exciting matchups come football season. But Jay, again, thank you for coming on, sharing a lot of your thoughts of what it was like to be a part of that excellent experience. And with that, we move over once again to our bi-weekly meeting with none other than Jay Phil, as we got to keep it real with Jay Phil. Say you had to raise the seat.
Yeah. He's a bigger boy than I am.
Yeah. Anyway, you got to get yourself settled in because Jason, it's always a blast to have you on.
Oh man, yeah.
We always love having you on here because you're so animated. You're such a great storyteller, and the stories that you tell are always so interesting. And it connects not only with us, but it connects very strongly with the viewers. And so we appreciate you always taking the time.
I appreciate it, man. I've had more and more fun every week. So.
But Jason, you know, we've been talking about throughout the times that you've been on here, the journey that you've taken, right? Going from that underdog mentality in high school to making it to TCU, to making it to Baltimore. But now, could you lay out perhaps maybe the final steps here as we're talking about your journey through the NFL? What were some of the transitional phases like for you of going from Baltimore and then, correct me if I'm wrong, but then the next step was Philadelphia, am I right?
Carolina.
Carolina, the next one. Okay. So then could you tell us just a little bit about what that journey was like of going from the Ravens over to the Panthers?
You know, it was, for me, it was a little difficult because I wanted to stay at the Ravens. That's who took the chance on me. That being said, I was never going to beat out Ray Lewis. You know what I mean? And they had, that linebacker room was deep. But going to Carolina was awesome because I got to see different franchises, see how they operated. And Carolina was not a bad, franchise. But at the time, you could tell the difference in the teams who spent the money and did and the teams that maybe were just trying to make a buck. And I don't want to say it in a bad way, but and when they drafted Luke Kuechly, that changed a lot. With having Cam on offense, Luke on defense, it was a different dynamic there. But the transition, and that's where one of my nicknames came from at Carolina, was they don't tell you when you transfer. I mean, when you get traded or whatever, that you have to go that day. So I got up, flew out, had to leave all my stuff home. I was hungry when I got there, so I grubbed at lunch. Well, nobody tells you the schedule. Didn't know I was going to practice about 40 minutes after that. And I just downed all kind of greasy food. It gets just as humid there as it does here.
Mm-hmm.
About segment 6, we were going against the offense, and you can see it on film. I'm in my stance, and I'm like, I know this is about to happen. They snapped the ball, and it just everywhere. Made the play, but we get in team room later, man, and it was who? I think it was Shockey. It was one of them that was like,
"Oh, Jordan."
Yeah, he's like, "Well, look at old Puke. He made the play, but y'all probably got all kind of shit on your clothes or something." I was like, "Hey, man, y'all told me to eat. Nobody else was eating. I didn't know it was a big deal." And so that one was Puke for a while, which I didn't mind because they had some bad ones for some other guys. But the best one was Baltimore, man, because Suggs is a unique character. Like,
oh yeah,
probably one of the most interesting guys I've ever been around as far as funny and charismatic. But I was the only white linebacker. And so when I would make a play, he would always go, "The white linebacker." And somehow that evolved to the white, to Dwight Lewis. And I was like, "Hey, man, I hear what y'all call some of them. I'll take Dwight Lewis out there." That was that one kind of made my day, man. I was like, okay, you're going to call me like, Nose or Gonzo. Actually, Sizzle did call me Gonzo a few times, but didn't catch on, so I was good with that.
It's funny too because I was a big fan of that show that The Rock did when he became like a financial advisor. I can't even think of the name of it, but Sizzle was on there.
Yeah,
what was it, guys? Ballers. Yeah, there it is. The green room had my back. Yeah, but Ballers, and I remember when him and Sizzle, had their little deal. He was on for like a whole season.
So he's big. Well, from what I remember, he was big into watching movies. He loved all kind of movies, and he had a semi-production studio where he was creating different, movies. I don't know what he does now, but they were hilarious. So at least the outtakes were, you know what I mean? Like they'd pan through and you'd have all these faces in the crowd and you see Sizzle going. Everybody else was like, it was just unique stuff like that you're like, yeah, he's just a regular dude. He's 6'6", 270, and he's a monster, but he's just a regular dude.
Yeah. So talk to us about what was the biggest differences between, being a Baltimore Raven and being a Carolina Panther?
Again, don't want to talk bad about anybody. It was just the level of professionalism at the Ravens, kind of the way they traveled, and the fact that we had a chef in there with Carolina got there after I left, but when I got there, it was kind of like eating training table in college. You know what I mean? You had your little buffet, you sat down and did it. But other than little things like that, man, the game is the game. You know, you got to learn your playbook. You got to act like a pro. You got to be able to take coaching and actually crave coaching, ask questions. But if you go out and play lights out, you're going to be all right. You know, do what they ask you to do, get on specials, get on scout, like I've said before. It's the guys that don't do that usually suffer the most, especially when you're at you go from the Ravens to a Carolina.
Yeah.
It kind of messes with you if you let it, you know. I always looked at it as I'm playing in the NFL, man. I'm good. You line me up in a parking lot and we'll go play. But then Philly was kind of a transition back to Baltimore. They, you know, they're old.
Let's say established old franchise for sure. Whereas I like that point that you made there too. The coaching staff will obviously change some things around, but the game is still the same.
Yeah.
So how did your mentality, I feel like, really fuel the things that you were able to do, regardless of where it was you were at?
It kept me in the league, you know, with 3 knee surgeries, torn calf, all that.
Sure.
The thing that kept me in the league was that I didn't care where you play. You know, coming out of high school, I was a quarterback, and I went to camps at running back, linebacker, safety, DN, whatever they asked for. And so I just enjoyed when they did try to play me somewhere else because it let me see what I could do. That's also when I learned that if you just go 90 miles an hour every play, you're going to be all right. You know, even if you can make the mistake, make it going fast.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But that and the coaching was a little different. But I did have a coach who's the Buffalo Bills head coach now, Sean McDermott, a lot like Coach Patterson as far as wanting to take everything away. You know, he would change his game plan up weekly, and you had to learn it, you know, and they did a great job with that. And having Cam on the other side, because when Cam was playing good, I've never seen anything like it. And if he stumbled a little bit early, Steve Smith would start getting into it. I mean, he didn't like that. I thought it was funny. But when he was rolling, I've never seen anything like it, man. Like, just a man among boys in the NFL.
Yeah. So Sean McDermott, right, former head coach of the Buffalo Bills. So he was a defensive coordinator.
So he was the DC,
Carolina?
yeah.
Okay.
And was that Riverboat Ron? Was that coach?
Yeah, Coach Rivera.
Yeah, Rivera. Yeah. So now they get you. Was it in the trade or did they get you in free agency?
So it was weird. I was told Coach Harbaugh told me before you're supposed to, and he said we're sending you to Carolina.
So it was a trade.
Well, that's what I thought. I think he knew they had the first waiver pickup or whatever, and because you're not supposed to tell me until after that practice, because I could have just left and not practiced, but I wasn't going to do that. They took a chance on me. They were good to me. But after the practice, I packed up and then flew out the next morning.
So wait, what happened? You got waived? Is that what?
So the linebacker room in Baltimore was good. I mean, every week if somebody didn't play well, the other guy started the next week on specials. You know, it was not pressure. It was actually, I liked it because it meant you had to come with your A game.
Right.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a good game that first week, and they had to get rid of somebody to dress another O lineman.
Yeah.
And it just was my week to, you know, move on, which I was okay with because I knew going to Carolina, I knew John Beeson was there, Thomas Davis, so I get to play with some good players. But I also knew, you know, Davis, he actually played a lot longer, but he had 2 or 3 knee surgeries by then, and that cat could run.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got there, I realized Beeson wanted to play in a different style of defense. So I was like, all right, these guys might get out of here. Well, as soon as Beeson leaves, we draft Luke Kuechly in the first round, and I'm like, all right, better get good at kickoff again. I don't think I'll see too many snaps on the field, but I did start a few games for Carolina, which was cool. But yeah, the defense of just trying to take everything away was what I was used to from college. And he matched routes, which I like. I don't like covering space.
Yeah.
I like to go stand next to the guy. But it was a lot of fun, man. And in Philly, I didn't get to play much. I got hurt the 4th day of camp. But being around the facility, because they're not allowed to make you be there. But I didn't have anything else to do. You know? I don't really have hobbies, you know. So I was like, I'll just hang out up here. And it was a cool team. They you know, I got to play with Vic there, Darren Sproles, and boy, you cannot cover him. But so I was blessed to play with some great names throughout my career.
No, absolutely, and I like too that again you continue to talk about passing the things that you knew on to the next generation and being that great mentor of having come from that underdog mentality to somebody that played on the stage that everybody wants to be on. And so I toss it over to you, Jason, to talk about a very special announcement that you have and something that you've been working on for quite a while now, but now that you finally are able to set it free into the world, what announcement do you have to make?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you guys letting me talk about it. I actually just published a book, and it's a little autobiographical, whatever the word is.
Yeah.
But I use stories from my career to validate the points I'm trying to make. You know, there's a communication chapter where I talk about we had to do film tests before the night before the game. Terrified, and if anybody tells you they weren't terrified, they're lying. Because if you messed up one play, we all started over, and Coach P was upset because he had told us all through the week. And I remember starting that as a freshman and kind of shaking a little bit, you know what I mean? But I just remember my dad always told me, when you're in the situation, say it loud and confidently, and usually you'll get away with it. Mm-hmm. I was right, luckily, but different things like that was a big part of the book. Was I wanted to show people that if you can take the things that really don't take talent, that people don't think are a big deal, you can develop your own talentless talent. You know what I mean?
You got a little blood now on your hand.
Oh God.
Yeah. You know,
it's so weird. My wife always says that. She's like, "Why do you bleed and you don't know how?" I'm like,
because of being an NFL player, I guess you don't know.
Well, you know, later surgeries, sooner or later, you just figure out to just ignore it.
No, you're good, brother. Hey, but you see, we got your back. We protect you too, Jay.
Yeah, man. Didn't get on my shorts or anything. You know?
I don't know where it went, but I just saw it on your hand. And I was like,
a little dot. I don't know. I must have scratched the scab. But the book talks a lot about what I think we've lost a little bit of in youth sports and really just sports in general, which is the hardworking, put your head down and go to work part. You know, don't be afraid to fail. Chase failure is what I talk about in the book. Chase it because you'll catch success if you chase failure. It's that part of youth league where I feel like a lot of parents think their kids are entitled to something instead of work. And if you don't play this year, then work again next year. Kind of like Michael Jordan's mom did for him. You know, there's a story in there, but I was a good baseball player in the field. I couldn't hit that ball to save my life, man. And I used to pout and act like a little girl. And my dad was at a game I did not know he was at. And man, I went and sat in the bench and I felt a hand snatch me by the back. And I was like, why is nobody, you know, calling an Amber Alert or whatever it is? Like, what's going on? It was my dad, and I was like, "Oh, I'm screwed." I didn't know he was going to be there, you know. And he gave me a good talking to, but just those kind of stories I use to validate kind of the points I'm making, just because I've lived the experience. Definitely didn't want to take it too autobiographical, you know what I mean? But one of the big things I do talk about is having a great why or whys, you know, and how you have to be somebody people want to mentor. You know, I had my mom and dad, and they were great. Coach Patterson was one, but you know, through my career, I learned people help those who genuinely help themselves. You know what I mean? They almost feel like they owe it to you because you are. And that's one thing I try to get across in the book. And then the last concept is I talk about being a made athlete, which is my attitude determines everything. Because I genuinely think your attitude is just, it's what you see the world through. You know, it's how you think, feel, what you say, what you do, how you react to success, failure. And I had to learn some lessons about that throughout my career that I talk about in the book, because I think a lot of times people who have a book, a lot of people think, okay, they've never done anything wrong, or I've failed a lot in my life, plan on doing a lot more failing before I die. Screwed up a lot, but I learned from it. You know, it's more about understanding that it's okay to care. It's okay to put yourself out there.
Well, I think for me, what I'm most excited about, you know, reading the book, and I've heard, you know, bits and pieces of your stories, but, you know, to kind of get to see it all come together, it's really going to be the part about, you know, having to face adversity. You know, there's a lot of things going around now, right? And mental health is a big one. Mental health has always been around. But I feel people handled it differently in generations past. And I think now, especially us being as men, right? We're groomed to not show weakness, right?
Especially in the locker room,
right? And it's just that we are supposed to not ever, you know, show that, especially from like a mental standpoint, right? I mean, like I can go back and watch shows where people had to sneak around to go see a therapist, right? Because that wasn't a thing. But for you to, you know, go to Baltimore, pay your dues, right? And this is after working your ass off in college, right? To even get to that point, you think I'm gonna be, you know, going to Carolina, bet I'm good with leaving because I got a chance to now start at linebacker because I've learned behind Suggs and behind Ray Lewis, two of the greatest of all time, just for them to draft Luke Kuechly.
Yeah.
That part of your story has what's been most intriguing to me, and I can't wait to read the book to kind of talk about that because that's just proof that, like, even when you've gotten to the pinnacle and you think it's finally going to be my turn, just to realize, nope, it's not. And you got to be okay with that mentally, physically, and as well as emotionally.
Oh, yeah. And you nailed it. One of the things I push through towards the end, especially, is there's no finish line. You know what I mean? Even if you get done playing, you take what you learned in the game and you apply it to whatever you do next. And I've went to coaching and into the business development world now, and I've been really good at it, but just by doing what I learned at college, just by learning how to show up on time, tell the truth, do what you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
And it blows me away, though, how many grown adults I work with now just can't be somewhere on time. I'm like, hey, man, just get there 30 minutes early. You can play on your phone there. But there's a lot about the game, man, that helps. But the adversity, I think, is the best thing for you. I think, especially when you're young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't want to live a life where everything's easy because there will be a day life is going to kick you in the teeth.
100%.
And if you don't learn how to handle it, you'll crumble. You know what I mean? Because it's something that's built and forged over time. And I don't want to say I was lucky to have a lot of adversity, but glass half full I was. You know what I mean? Because I was able to come back from injuries. It seemed like every year I'd be fighting rehab, make the team, something would happen a few weeks later.
Right.
But the worst part about that is knowing you're getting paid while the other guys are out there working hard. You almost feel like you didn't earn the money. That messed with me a little bit mentally because that's just not how it was built. You know what I mean? And seeing guys working their butt off on the practice squad, knowing I'm making more than them for doing nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That bothered me a little bit. And then that transition out of the NFL was always tough for everybody. You have a 2-3 year period where your whole life has been football.
Right.
You're almost institutionalized. I wrote a paper on it a while back called Athletic Institutionalization, but you've had been told when to eat, when to sleep, where to go, when to do this, when to play, what to wear, that one day that just stops.
Yeah.
And you've got to be able to not figure it out, but just take everything you learned and just keep doing it, but towards something else.
Yep.
But the adversity for me, I did not like it at the time, but now that I'm older, it made me who I am today. You know what I mean? And I don't know if I'd be where I am today without facing those battles.
Right. Yeah. Of course. Well, look, man, we look forward to having you back. I can't wait. You're going to bring the book with you next time you come on, right?
I'm not very techie. I've been trying to do the cover, and it's kicking my butt. I got it now.
Okay, all right. Well, hey, in a couple of weeks, we look forward to seeing it and taking some experts out of the book so we can kind of read through and talk about the meaning behind it and the journey and kind of break this thing down, any kind of way that you want to roll with this.
Yeah, for sure. And it's on Amazon right now. And if you get a chance to read it, I love constructive criticism.
What's the name of it?
It's 2-Star Starter.
Okay,
the mindset that made me MADE, and that's kind of how I got started when I went to Little League leagues and a couple high schools where I talked to freshmen. They were great at the beginning of the season, but sometimes at the end of the season, they were done. They wanted to get, just, almost like the other kids that maybe were bigger, stronger, faster, but you're 10, so you're going to grow. But they had kind of written themselves off before they gave themselves a chance to be consistent, to play violent, play hard, and that bothered me a little bit. That was something that's the mindset I was trying to change. And it's tough, but it's also, if you could develop that mindset in football, it just sticks.
Right.
You know what I mean? It never goes away.
Absolutely, man. But those will all be definitely things that we're looking forward to having you back on so we can dive a lot deeper into those concepts.
For sure.
As we always say, Jason, thank you again for coming on.
No, man. Thank you guys for having me. Like I said, my new favorite day of the week. Every other week.
Exactly. Well, either way, man, thank you so much for coming on here. And we'll take a little bit of time once again to thank the sponsor of today's episode, and that is Game One. Looking to elevate your game? At Game One, we come alongside your team to provide custom uniforms, apparel, and equipment built for performance and delivered with unmatched service. Plus, our online team and fan stores make it easy for athletes and parents to get custom gear anytime, anywhere. Visit game-1.com today to learn more because your team deserves the best. And so we return once more here to just wrap up a couple of little tidbits here and bring up, once again, cause for celebration. We've been doing it all throughout this episode, celebrating new members of the crew, celebrating a wedding, celebrating more offers coming in, celebrating Jason and his book coming out. But we got to celebrate one more birthday here for our guy, Brooks McGee, as he got to celebrate his birthday yesterday on the 25th. Happy birthday to you, Brooks.
Happy birthday, Brooksy. One of Jalen's friends too, man.
There you go.
They went to middle school together and play freshman ball together, right? At Lake Creek High School here in North Montgomery County, Texas. But happy birthday, Brooks.
Yes, very happy for you, man. And then Jay, I'll toss it over to you for this last little segment that we got going on here, because it's something that we have been hinting at getting going for, I think, a couple of weeks now. Something that we've had to gear up for. I'm gearing up for a trip to Italy, but you're gearing up for a very different kind of trip, almost a business trip, as it were.
Oh, it is
the beginning
business
of OV season.
Yeah, no, it's the business. It's definitely a business trip. Yeah, OV official visits. This is where now our rising class of 27, right, are going on their OVs because they got to pick home, right? And some of these universities, especially the top fives, right, are the ones that I need to be in attendance to. And so, it starts this week. I'm about to go on a marathon run, Jake. I got Mississippi State coming up the end of this week. Then I go to University of North Carolina beginning of next week. And then I go to University of Kentucky at the end of next week. And then there's Iowa State. There's a Kansas trip in there, and then Florida State, right? So because of when that dead period hits, you got to do a lot in the month of June, end of May. So, but this first trip, Mississippi State's already sent out the itinerary, like got everything laid out, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. A couple of guys that we rep will be on that OV. I tried to schedule those strategically, Jake, so I could go meet with the general manager and have one meeting, two conversations.
There you go. Hey, it works out perfectly. I'm sure Ash was loving hearing all the trips that you're going to be going.
Well, it's funny you say that too, because like North Carolina wasn't on the initial one, right?
Yeah.
And so I get hit up. Carolina jumps in. They're like, "Hey, we really like Joshua Vermel. Like, Jay, let's make this happen. Like, we'll do a midweek OV." So I go hit Ashley up. And I'm like, "Hey, babe, I need to know if you're good with me being gone. What is it, like June 1st to the 3rd, whatever date that is, right?" And she's taking a little bit longer. I said, "Hey, babe, I kind of need to know because, you're holding up Bill Belichick." And she texts me back and goes, "Hey, yeah, you're good. Go ahead and go. I'll figure it out with the baby. By the way, nice slide in there letting me know that I'm holding up Bill Belichick." I'm like, "Hey, I'm saying, like, it's not a lie. Like, they're waiting on me to finalize this deal." But hey, I'm excited though. Obviously we've built such a good relationship with these general managers, getting to meet some of these guys face to face, right? Because I've been on Zooms and obviously tons of phone calls, but getting to kind of hang out with them, getting to build even stronger relationship with not only with the GMs, but, with the head man, right? The coordinators. And then, allowing them to get to know more about Protection United too, right? Because there is a lot of dead time where the players are taking out, the recruits, and it's just kind of me and the coaches, just kind of getting to hang out. So, but Coach Belichick, I'm ready for him to like mumble something to me. Like, I'm ready for him to just kind of be like, "Yeah, we really like Josh, and I'm really excited. I just think he'll be a good fit."
Let's do it.
Coach, whatever you say. And then the general manager's last name is Lombardi. No relation, but it's just kind of cool.
Still, yeah.
That I let other people think that it is a relation. I don't correct them. They're like, "Vince Lombardi's great-grandson?"
The one and only.
Maybe. That sounds good. Let's roll with that.
No, very excited to hear those opportunities open up for you, Jay. Great opportunities for you to begin that negotiation process to show that, like we said, we protect our athletes. We're always going to make sure they get their fair share, but we're not taking advantage of these schools either. We're not going into for this as a pure money play. This is making sure that we create that long-term relationship where both parties can be happy.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, we tell our clients this, so this is not a secret. But we let the general managers know, their relationship with you and us are just as important as it is with our clients, because our guys could go through any university and then go to the league, right? Just like how Jason, journey was. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to be here with guys that need homes, and these GMs are going to still need guys to come play for them, right? So, doing things the right way, building relationships the right way. And it's been funny. I mean, like some general managers have actually shared with me where there's some agencies that they have pretty much said that if you rep a kid, I won't recruit that kid because of how bad things have gone or the shadiness that have found out. Whereas, I think we're like a breath of fresh air, right? I didn't go to these schools and say, hey, I'm the uncle of these guys just so I can try to be free on the OV. Like, no, I want to follow the rules right away. I know the rules state that I got to pay my own way. I can book my own flights, book my own hotel. Like, you don't have to cover any of my expenses, right? Because I want you to know, to your point, Jake, this is a business trip, right? And I get only the athlete and their family are the ones, but some of these agents, they try to play that game. They'll lie and say, I'm a family member because they want to get in for free. And then when they find out that you really were the agent, you started the relationship off with a lie.
Yeah.
Right. And we don't want to do business like that here. And I think that has been one of the key separators with Protection United versus some of these other agencies that are on the come up.
Yeah, we're absolutely thrilled to see what these opportunities are going to lead to. As we said, continuing to build those meaningful connections for all of the athletes that are underneath the Protect You banner. But with that, y'all, that ends another episode of the Protect You podcast. I know we talked about a lot, whether that was the wedding, more offers coming in, new members to the crew, Jason coming in, the expo that we had at Atascocita. It was all very great. And we do thank each and every one of y'all for continuing to tune in and watch each and every episode. Like we said, if y'all do like what you're seeing over here on the Protect You podcast, be sure to head on over to the Protection United YouTube channel. Be sure you click subscribe and ring the bell so you get notified every single time we go live. With that, folks, I've been Jake Wilson, as always, alongside Jay Mickens. We had Chase King on the set, Jay Arnold on the set, Jason Phillips, and our excellent producer was Justin Woods. We hope to catch you all on the next one. See you around.